Alright, so I finally broke down and bought one of these Makita. Well, they have these in California. Compressors has them. They're the low noise quiet series compressor, but the Makita have them on eBay. The guy sells them pretty reasonable. The one I got was the 1.5 horsepower. They have a smaller one that's 1 horsepower. I recommend this one if you're going to get one. It's a little bit bigger than the other one, a 3-gallon tank. So the question is, can you paint with it? And you know, I was just testing it just now, and I was able to, with this spray gun at close to 30 pounds or 29 pounds. This is a HTE gun, so it's a HTE from Harbor Freight 1.3, and I'm pretty impressed. I can't believe it. It actually keeps up pretty good at it gets down to about 50 pounds, and it starts to drop a little bit. But if you just let off for about 10 seconds off the trigger and keep the air turned off for 2 or 3 seconds, it'll start gaining up pressure very quickly. And the other question is, will it run on the Harbor Freight Predator generator? And it actually does both. In fact, the amazing thing is, this thing is quieter than that generator is. So you can't even really hear it turn on and off. See, I do a lot of work where I'm working early in the morning. I'm not really supposed to be, but it's the only time that I can do it. So I have to do it early in the morning because people in cars and stuff aren't around. So, and it's high risk spray because the overspray can stick if you're not careful. So I like to do it early in the morning. So I was wondering if one of these would work for that. Let me compare it to my other one. I'll show you. I have this old piston compressor. It's quite a bit louder than that one, and it's a little bit bigger as far as the tanks go, and it's unable to regulate enough on using a different gun, not that spray gun, but another one. It barely would keep up, and when the compressor turns off, what it would do, let me rephrase that. When you initially turn on the compressor, it would fire up and run. But then when it went to recycle, so let's say it dropped pressure, as you use it, it drops pressure, and then the compressor itself cycles on. It was unable to keep up on that. We'll do a comparison real quick with this one, and the other one is noise. But first I'm going to go ahead and show you what this one sounds like with the generator running. So I have to have it on with the idle off. They have this idle control. Have to have that on off so that it's already running. It struggles a little bit when it recycles, but it's actually on right now. I can feel it, but I don't think you can hear it because I can't hear it. All I can hear is this generator. And this is a quiet generator. So you just heard it cycle off. So we'll just run this. I'm just going to run air out of here. Watch the pressures. It drops to below 100 pounds. I got it regulated at 60. And slowly it starts to drop. And after about 5 minutes or so of spraying, it kind of stops at about 50 pounds. So I'm going to bring it back in. I'm going to go ahead and stop for a second. I'm going to hold the trigger for a while and let it get down to its operating. So it's running all this time and it hasn't got down to 50 pounds. So I'll bring you back in a second. So it's been running here about 3 more minutes or so, and it's just kind of tapered off and gotten down to about 50 now. It's not a lot of pressure, so if you couldn't really spray like clear coat with it, but it's enough to spray base coat or some single stage urethanes. You could probably paint with it. So it's pretty cool. And then it builds up very quickly, so let's watch here. You can see the pressure. I think this is the one. Tank pressure, tool pressure. You see how quickly it builds up. And And you can't hear it at all. But you can see it's running. Okay, so I went ahead and turned the generator off because we don't need to listen to that, right? We're here to look at this when I'm just showing you some examples of things it'll do. So let's listen to it by itself. Let's see how quiet it is. I'm gonna have to bring down the pressure because it's that noise is probably louder than there it is. Can you guys even hear it? It's very quiet. You know it's running because it'll click off in a minute. There it is. That's how quick it brings the pressure up, very quickly. All right, just for fun, let's go ahead and run it next to this one. I think this one was a 2 horsepower and 4 gallons, if I remember right. So it's a bigger unit than that one is. And I don't think it puts as much CFM out. Let's listen to it though. That's loud. Compared to this is the other one running. It's a little more pleasant to listen to, right? Much nicer for a job site. Especially where noise matters. Which noise almost always matters. So this one's 2.6 CFM. I think this one is, I don't know what this one is actually. It's so old, the numbers on it. So anyway, I think these things are pretty nice. I mean, if you're looking at getting a compressor, why not get a quiet one? These ones are much more quiet than the other ones. A little more expensive, but I think they'll run on less draw too as well. That's what I was looking at. And it answered that question for me. So if you're wondering if it'll run on this generator, on one of these smaller generators, the EU 2000 Honda, it's about the same ratings as this one. This is just the Harbor Freight version of it. It's about half the price if you're looking. And I had a Honda EU 2000, and within 4 years, one of the valves stuck in the engine. Had to take it apart and unstick the valve when I really needed it to work. It was kind of a drag. And the other thing that happened is then, like about a year later after that, all the wiring inside of it completely fried. It just almost caught fire. So that was the Honda. Okay, not this. And I've had this almost the same amount of time, and I've had very little problem with it. So if you're looking at generators, that might be something to look at. These Predators from Harbor Freight, not bad for the price. They're same amount of sound. The noise is about the same. It's about the same everywhere around, except it actually puts out a little bit more juice than the Honda. The Honda used to trip the breaker a lot more than this one does. So anyway, just get that in there too. Anyway, if you're looking at one of these, I'm going to say these things are a buy. They're really nice. I mean, they're really. It's just like it's the same type of a quiet system that the California compressors have. The California compressor, same size, I think, is about double the price of this one. So I would say the Makita looks pretty nice for the money. I'm going to do some painting with it right now. I'm going to go ahead and use it to paint some stuff, but I need to mask it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll put in the comments below how that worked out for me. See if you're interested in that. If I think it's worthy of doing some painting, but if you were to kind of paint a whole car or something very large, I think you would kind of run out of air. You'd have to stop every once in a while and just pull your hand off the trigger and let it kind of catch up for a minute or two. But it'd probably work. You could probably get the job done. It would just be very slow going. You need about 5 or 6 CFM really to do a good clear coat or more, for an HDE gun, one of these. If you're using HVLP, like one of the Technopro Light or something like that, you need like 15 CFM minimum for that thing. So anyway, but so if you're looking to do car painting or something like that, you really need a bigger compressor. But this is good for small jobs that I'm doing. I'm doing very, very small things. ATM surrounds, little signs in a parking lot, stuff like that. This will actually get the job done fine. So anyway, I'll see how it works and look at that comments. I'll talk to you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment for us.